You're never too old, you're never too out of shape, you're never too anything. You've just got to make it a priority. I grew up in a pretty athletic family. My dad was one of those guys who could play any sport and not only play it, but play it well. Very competitive nature, but he also exposed us to the beauty of athletics back then. And I wanted nothing more than be just like my dad. I don't know if we worked out so much back then. I think we more so just practiced. And I wouldn't say we exercised, we were just always being active and doing things that made us fit. It was kind of like our workout, just living life. We played a lot of sports, a lot of team sports like baseball, and then you're playing pickup basketball or football in front yard with your friends, as well as a lot of individual sports, from tennis to racquetball to just running. Your bike was like your thing. You took care of your bike. You rode your bike everywhere. I probably logged thousands of miles on my bikes just riding around town, to friends' houses, wherever I might be. So whatever we were doing, we were always being active with what we were doing. You name it, I was there doing it. Not necessarily a set plan of exercise, but I was getting exercise just in my daily routine. And I didn't really realize the benefit at the time until later in life, but it enabled me to do more fun, exciting things by being active like this. You know, you get older and you get a family, you get a job, and you don't have the same amount of time for these activities or sports. And so you've got to find other ways to keep yourself active. And that's when I kind of fell into a gym routine. And it wasn't until quite a few years later, my wife and I had moved to Chicago, and I don't think I worked out for a good 6 months or did anything really active at all. I look back and how I just felt so blah. I didn't have the same energy level, didn't have the same positiveness. Everything just seemed dark and gloomy. Granted, Chicago is not the most pleasant place on the planet in winter, and I had talked myself into believing that was the issue. It wasn't because I wasn't being active. But on a whim one day, I decided to go to our apartment gym, did a quick workout, and I tell you what, how good I felt. It was absolutely amazing. It's almost like a light bulb went off, like this is what you need to do. I have to be more intentional now. I have to make sure I make the time because I'm not just a kid anymore. I'm not running around on my bike all day long. I've got to find ways to make sure I can get this feeling and feel good like this all the time. And that kind of started my journey to where I made sure to never skip my gym routine. We moved around a lot after that, and everywhere we would go, we would make sure to always find some kind of gym that we could join. Just because of my job, my hours were long, but I made sure to never use that as an excuse. A lot of times I would have to get up at 4 or 5 in the morning to make sure I could go to the gym before I went to run a shift in a restaurant or before I went to go visit another restaurant. It became like a way of life that I really enjoyed. I would get to work and feel so revitalized already. I had so much more energy, and if you've ever been in the restaurant business, it is not necessarily populated by fit people, unfortunately, because it is long hours. It is ready-made food always available. You can eat whatever you want. So I knew that I had to make sure that I kept very active by going to the gym. And I became that guy who back and buys one day, chest and tries another day, and then I would do my legs one day, and then I would do running, and I was very disciplined about it. I tracked it all. I kept track of everything and thought I was in really good shape. And in all honesty, I was in very good shape. And I was in better shape than most. Unfortunately, I was geared more towards aesthetics than I was towards actual functional health. So on a whim, I decided around my 44th, 45th birthday, join the CrossFit gym. I still remember my first CrossFit workout. I can't remember the rep scheme, but I know it was kettlebell swings, burpees, and some running. And here I was with this big ego, like, look at me, I'm this fit guy. I'm gonna do so well on this one. I'm gonna crush it. Started the workout, and I tell you what, it was very eye-opening how, yeah, maybe I was strong, but my fitness level was not where it should be. I remember finishing my last set of burpees, and there was a lady, probably in her 70s, cheering me on. Never met her before, cheering me on like, JB, come on, you can do this, don't stop. And I just remember feeling like this is everything about the joy of lifting and working out, about the joy of team sports, about the joy of activity that I've been looking for. It's like, this is great. So not too long after that, I opened up a CrossFit gym, and It was a tremendously great experience, but it also opened my eyes to not only to where my level of fitness needed to be, but also to our community as a whole, to where what I always thought and knew how good exercise made me feel, there's a whole community of people out there that have never had the joy of that feeling. And one of the things that I liked about CrossFit or a group class or any exercise class is it brings a community together, and there's a camaraderie where people can be uncomfortable but feel the benefits and the joy of working out together. I'm not going to say it's just CrossFit that does it. I think there's tons of ways to get active and to be motivated. I'm a firm believer that our bodies were meant to be active. We were meant to move. We weren't meant to be sedentary. And as we get older, it's easy for life to get in the way. It's easy to find reasons why you can't. But it's just as important to find reasons why you can. And being active is a relative term. I mean, I can't do what I could do when I was 30 or 40 or even when I was 50. But I can still do, and I can still modify. I can put my ego aside and not have to worry about being judged. Just be active for me, be active for my family, be active to set an example for people around me. Really, I think the goal is to be active well into your golden years and beyond, to never stop, to never quit. Obviously, you're going to modify and you're going to adjust, but to really appreciate your body and take care of your body and enjoy what your body can do and the doors it'll open up and the lifestyle you can lead. And there's so many amazing things out there that you could experience if you could just be more active. If I were to give anyone advice, it'd be to just start. You're never too old, you're never too out of shape, you're never too anything, but you've got to put the work in. You just have to start. Working out undoubtedly has been my fountain of youth.